This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
I'm Katie Ramble with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Some new updates Tuesday in the shooting at Tanger Outlets in Glendale. New court documents show at least one of the teens involved will be charged as an adult. Documents reveal Raul Franco pulled a gun on someone after someone confronted him over what's described as social media disrespect. 4 people were shot last week, including a 4-year-old who remains in the hospital but is stable. Rain played a part in the state's largest county, seeing a record number of West Nile cases this past year. And ABC 15 is learning that some changes are being made on how mosquitoes are being tracked. The Maricopa County Health Department saw a record number of deaths and West Nile cases in humans last year. A record-breaking 2021 saw more than 1,400 cases. The previous record was in 2004 with just 355. Mosquitoes are now being counted weekly, and so far, no human cases have been found in 2022. The county's Environmental Services Department is also updating how they keep an eye on mosquitoes, expanding their tracking and surveillance, and adding more traps to growing parts of the county.
After everything was over last year, that's what we looked at this year and said, well, we need to add traps in these areas so that we have a weekly surveillance.
The county plans to have fogging contracts on standby in case there's a busy season. They'd be able to get more companies into areas that need it. Now to the crisis in Ukraine. The American journalist with ties to Arizona takes us back to the moments he was shot in a Russian attack.
There was a point that I thought, this is it, I'm gone.
Juan Arredondo is now at a New York hospital recovering from that attack in Ukraine. The former visiting photojournalism professor at ASU was overseas covering the war when Russian forces opened fire near Kyiv.
Like I could hear so much hitting that car that I thought, okay, this is it. I'm not going to survive this. And I've never experienced that sensation, that feeling of knowing that this is it. And it's not a feeling of being afraid. It's just coming to terms that there's nothing I can do. This is probably going to be the end.
Fellow journalist Brett Brunel was killed in that same attack. As for the latest in Ukraine, Russia continues attacks across the region, but top officials say they'll pull back some troops from Kyiv. President Joe Biden says he's skeptical that will actually happen. Right now, the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection, discovering a long communication gap. There are reports during the attack there was a 7-hour, 37-minute window when the White House phone logs under former President Trump went unaccounted for. The panel wants access to those records to get a better understanding of what happened. The committee also looking into reports calls were made on Trump's personal cell phones, which might explain why there's no record of it. It's Wildfire Safety Awareness Week, and as we prepare for what's expected to be a busy wildfire season, last year people caused nearly 75% of fires. So that's why Arizona's Department of Forestry and Fire Management wants to remind you to be aware of your surroundings.
Know before you go. Once we get fire restrictions in effect, check the fire restrictions website and know where you're going. There's no target shooting on state land. So if you're heading out, make sure you know which jurisdiction you're going to.
Also, make sure your campfires are out entirely. Never pull your car off the road into tall grass, and properly maintain your car and tires. To protect your home, remove dry or dead vegetation.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens, and we are ramping up a wild day of rain, hail, and snow across the state as our latest storm system has moved through. Tonight, it clears on out to the east. We could see a few lingering showers across eastern Arizona until very late tonight. Then it completely clears out of here, and we spend the rest of the week warming things up. Tomorrow, we'll start the day in the 50s and then see low 60s by 9 a.m. before the 70s take over. Sunny and dry throughout the day. A few breezes here and there in our valley forecast tomorrow, but the stronger winds will be across eastern Arizona. Again, as they catch the tail end of this exiting storm system, we could see winds at 15 to 30 miles per hour from Window Rock south into Safford, and gusts near 35 throughout the day tomorrow. Here in the valley, again, breezy for tomorrow and a few more breezes toward the end of your 7-day forecast. But after tomorrow, the 80s are back, and we're climbing into the mid to upper 80s over the weekend and early next week.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, visit ABC15.com or download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.